you just push that button. Yeah, so I think part of the reason we love these calls so much is part of our creativity is that any chance we have to, go, I mean, Halloween just comes once a year, but if there's another opportunity to dress up.
We're coming once a week.
We love it. So we were inspired by Mayan culture, and Dan here with his feathers, he's a quetzal, which is very important in Mayan culture. It's a very sacred bird. It's the god of air and light. So he is a quetzal today. And then I'm a jaguar because that's their god of the night and also the god of conquering your fears. And then as for our creativity, I'm also a musician. So I went ahead and wrote like a little song based on the email that we received from Retreats Resources. So I don't know if you guys want to hear that now, or if you want to hear it later.
We do, of course.
I have to hear it now. I have.
All right. And this is me stepping into being a jaguar and conquering my fears here. So Here we go. So this is based off of the wording that was on the Retreats Resources email. So just prefacing with that. Let me tell you about Hotel Xcaret. It's relaxation at its best, full of culture and Mayan heritage. 900 casas designed with nature in mind. No better place to relax and unwind. Caribbean Sea with the jungle just behind. They've got hanging bridges and a beautiful spa. And if you're lucky, you'll see a quetzal. Authentic cuisine with a restaurant carved out of rock. You can swim in Xel-Ha or swing at Xplor. If that ain't your thing, they've got so much more. Xenotes and Fuego, Xenses, Xoximilco. And last but not least, it's a great place to meet. The perfect resort for a corporate retreat. We're telling our clients is the next place they should see. We gotta get to Xcaret.
That's fabulous.
Okay, that's going down in the archives of greatness, Michelle and Danielle.
I hope you recorded that.
You did record it, and it's there for posterity.
Oh, there we go.
Deborah, if you want to take this little clip and send it to your bosses.
Oh,
That's great.
that was so creative. I'm just, wow, that was fantastic. And Sam piped in, he said, love the background dancer.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Another hidden talent of Dan's, of course.
That's classic.
Awesome.
That was just so delightful, guys. I can't even tell you how big we're smiling over here.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah, big stakes. That's why. Who else?
Wow.
Would anybody like to follow that act?
I've got something, but to follow that is going to be
I know,
okay. So this is my favorite moment, and it's my hobby. So this is me golfing, and it was my hole-in-one.
Yay.
So that's my favorite hobby.
Cool. Where
And
did you get a
then
hole-in-one?
I've got some stuff with me. Let me change my screen. 1 second. So sorry.
Where did you score your hole-in-one?
Here at Hasten Tree,
Oh, okay.
the course that I live at. Okay, so I've got some fun things with me. I've got my Looper doggy head cover with my golf clubs. Then I've got my always have to have Nelly Jims.
Yes, indeed.
My birdie shot that you have to do whenever you have a birdie.
Oh.
And
That's
then
cool.
right here, you always have to have something fun. So in here is my trolley. And that's it.
Oh, congratulations.
I love it.
Were you able to see everything? So sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Golfing is your superpower then, right, Joanne?
That is my superpower.
I don't know too many people who've had holes in one, so.
That's fantastic.
Okay, I see that Sam, her name popped up in the chat. Sam, can we hear from
here.
you? There she is.
I'm channeling Frida Kahlo.
Okay.
Love it. I love it.
Just recently got obsessed with her and digging into her life. So I'm at Casa Azul, which is where she grew up and then lived with Diego Rivera. So they're both Mexican painters. And it's been a museum since 1958. But obsessed with like her clothes. I have on a hand embroidered dress, Mexican hand embroidered dress. But obsessed, like she was so before her time, and there's so many details of the decisions she made about her style and, you know, the things she lived through and the chronic pain and her paintings and her, you know, painting herself and stuff. It's so fascinating that happened, that she's from so long ago, that, you know, was 30s, 40s, 50s. But she was so ahead of her time, and I'm just a little obsessed now too. So for that, she loved tequila, so I'm drinking a blue margarita for La Casa Azul.
Have you seen the movie with Selma Hayek? I suppose
Yes,
you have done that.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful movie. I can't believe I've never seen it before. I just saw it recently, but and I think Carol knows now that my secret power is really turning anything into an event. Even through the pandemic, I'll turn anything into a one person party, one person one party.
And she does it brilliantly, as you can tell. Thanks, Sam. Good to see you this week.
Michelle Gabriel wants to know what the name of the movie is.
It's just called Frida.
Yeah,
Frida.
It's from like early 2000s. It's almost 20 years old now. It is beautiful. The costumes are beautiful. The makeup is perfect. The lighting is perfect. Selma Hayek looks so much like Frida Kahlo. I mean, there's so many things I didn't know about. I mean, she was communist. She was bisexual. There's so much color in her history that maybe didn't come to light until people got really interested in her. But so her house is now a museum. It's been a museum since 1958. And I think the world didn't know about her until maybe the 70s or beyond that, and got interested in her. But she's pretty iconic now.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Our meeting space at the new Arte, and we'll get into that when I do my presentation, but it's named after Frida and Diego. So
okay.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Inspired by them, yeah. And we have suites named after them as well.
Fantastic.
How could you not? That's
of course, yeah.
Anybody else want to say hi? We haven't heard from Laura yet. Hey, Laura.
Oh, hola.
Hola. ¿Cómo estás?
So I decided that I would talk more about Mexican pottery. And here's another example. I think it's quite familiar. And Talavera pottery was first introduced to Mexico in the 15th century by Spanish settlers, and the craft was mastered in the village of Talavera de la Reina. Today, the earthenware ceramic pottery is produced in many regions of Mexico, and it was using the skills and techniques that was attained over the centuries. So anyway, so here's to our host and the Talavera pottery. My own specific hobby is photography, but all my photos were of Colorado, so didn't think it went with the theme.
That's great. Well, you'll have to come to the resort and take some pictures there.
I would love to.
She'll accept that invitation.
Absolutely.
I think Carol Nall, I saw Carol Nall come up in the first 5 list. Hey, Carol.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Good. I wanted to say Debra.
Enjoying Debra's beautiful resort too, aren't you?
Yeah, and I wanted to say hi to Debra and thank you again. I will never forget you being the rock star that you are, singing happy birthday to my husband in New Orleans and that fabulous fam. I've got such great pictures and we'll never forget it. So, and he won't either. So
it was a great experience. And how's married life? Agreeing with you. Look at you. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Still married.
Well, it must be working out. Good for you.
It'll be 3 years soon. So yeah.
That's one of my favorite shots you have behind you as your screensaver. Just FYI, I was talking to Whitney. I have a MacBook Air, and it won't allow me to do a screen, a background screen without a green screen. So learn something new every day. I got to get a new computer if I want to play like I know what I'm doing. So
Call me
It's great to see you.
offline. I have a
Excited.
MacBook Air, and you can do it.
oh, okay, all right. Well, I'll get some training from Miss Carol. Thank you.
Yes, when an old person like me can do training on technology, it must be pretty basic.
It changes every day. For heaven's sake, it's overwhelming.
Yeah, mine's a Mac Pro. So yeah.
So we just disgraced you right in front of all your friends.
No
Sorry.
disgracing me. That's awesome. Thank you.
All right. I would love to say hi to a few people. I see Laura Reed. Hi, Laura. I know we're all happy to see you. How are you?
Good.
Good, good,
Glad
good.
to be having these sessions again.
Yes, well, they're hit and miss these days.
I
But
know it.
we're happy to see you though, and I know Deborah's glad to see you here too. And Jill Cohen is here. Anybody else want to say hello before we get started? This is your chance.
Can I talk about my creativity?
Yeah.
Please, very curious.
Well, you know, we've had so many months and I do lots of stuff. I hope I can get this up there. This is a necklace
Oh, wow.
and it's made out of shrinky dinks. It's a thing we used as kids. It's plastic that you color and the pattern comes from a calendar from the National Folk Museum of Korea, where I work with a lot.
Goodness.
And then I decided to play with collage. And this is from a stamp from New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
And this, wait, the one the necklace was on is one of our sunsets here in Miami.
Wow. And you're doing this with collage. And is that paper that you're working with?
It's just paper from high gloss, those big, you know, like the big end neighborhood magazines.
Yeah.
Then I decided to go with geometrics
Yeah. Wow.
and just kind of mess around.
Well,
Very
those are pretty
creative.
colors. That's pretty.
Oh, how awesome.
Wow.
And I have a blog
Carried
that's
away
called
there.
Creatively Annette. What a creative title. Because I just got up to turn off the water that's boiling because a lot of my creativity is with cooking, which for those of us who travel, I'm sure everybody either likes to eat or pick up recipes when you travel.
Or both.
And also writing. And I write a lot about the travel and the work that I've done. So it's Creatively Annette. You can find it easily on WordPress.
Oh, good to
Very
know.
cool.
What is it called again?
Should I put in the chat?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Sure.
Okay, so thank you very much. And this is, as you can tell, this is my first time. It's only 4 o'clock in Miami, so I don't have a cocktail. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it feels a little weird to be drinking. We start making the cocktail around 3:30, and I'm not gonna lie, it feels a little rough, but you know.
So Annette, you say you do lots of work with Korea. This is
Yes.
something I have not announced to anybody except Kathy Kelly, but I'm getting ready to adopt a fur baby from Korea,
Oh, wow.
from a rescue that saves these dogs from the Asian meat market, the dog meat market, something that has been a dream, lifelong dream. I didn't realize that dream would be so expensive. To ship that dog over here is going to be close to $3,000, but she's absolutely precious, little 7-month-old fur baby, and I'm very excited. Her name is Birdie. So
Is she one of those beautiful Korean dogs?
she's not a Jindu.
Okay.
Jindu Love Animal Rescue is the place, but she's a small terrier mix, about 22, 23 pounds. She's white and fuzzy and kind of a creamy color. She's just looks like a teddy bear. She fits in with my other littles. I just lost my Bernese mountain dog to
Oh,
cancer.
boo.
Yeah, and it was hard. So I'm gonna bring this little girl over here, and when we can coordinate a flight and get somebody to courier over here. So hopefully soon.
I often play devil's advocate. National Public Radio recently had an episode on morning or afternoon about adopting dogs from overseas. Be really careful that she has her rabies shot.
Oh yeah, this is a very reputable.
Okay,
firm.
because they're saying a lot of dogs are coming in. They don't know if they have them or not.
Yeah.
And they're going to be more judicious about where they let them come from. But that's wonderful.
Yeah. but
Too bad you can't go and pick it up. You pick her up
I-
yourself.
Probably save me some money if I could, you know.
I'll go.
We'll have to see. Yeah.
All right, it's time to get started. Typically, we give a little gift to the first 5 people who've logged in any particular day. And this week, the first 5 people, and I don't know if they're all still here, but if you are still on the call, then you
Carol,
get a
I
prize.
put
So-
that in the chat box. A couple have dropped off, so I have 2 other.
Okay, do you want to send me a new list?
Yeah, I sent it to you in the chat box.
Okay, and then while I look at that, why don't you share what it is you have
Okay.
arranged
So
for
this week, since our theme is arts and crafts, we thought it was appropriate to our first 5 winners will win a lovely set of calligraphy pens
Ooh.
to be very creative and a nice little Ray Dunn notebook, sketchbook to go along with it. And we'll send those to you in the mail. And when Carol announces your name, if you will email me, don't put it in the chat box, but if you'll email me your mailing address, and I will put my email address in the chat box for the winners here.
Perfect. So there were a couple of people who were early, but just couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. So they're gone already. I'm sorry, we lost them.
Wow.
The first 5 are Jill Cohen, Heather Wren, Carol Nall, Dan Zinmaster. What a cool name, Zintmaster. Zintmaster, and Michelle Gabrielle. So congratulations, you guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for staying. And now the good part is when Debra starts to share with us her really fantastic resort. I've known Debra for many years now. I've known her through many iterations of her sterling career. I know her to be just the most enthusiastic, most professional hotel seller that I know. And I'm just so happy that she's landed someplace that suits her so well. And I think she's going to be great at sharing that with you. And I'm really excited to have you here, Debra. So you can have the floor now.
Well, thank you. I just want to say how excited I am to be included in this presentation series. I'm a little nervous because I'm sure you'll all of you on the call will agree with me that the most articulate person to describe any destination is Carol. She impressed me years ago when we first met, and she did a call to the company I worked for at that time, Monumental Meetings, and you could sit there and close your eyes during her description, and she takes you there. You feel it, you smell it, you taste it. So don't critique me too heavily, Carol. I'm going to do my best to describe this property and this set of properties for you. I'm very excited to be here. So thank you. Thank you all for taking time to tune in today and listen to my presentation and learn more about Xcaret. The couple that were in costumes, I'm impressed that you pronounced it correctly in your song. It is Esh. The X is pronounced like an ESH, Xcaret. So many people go Xcaret. I did that when I first got the job and was frowned on heavily. It's Xcaret. So almost everything in our culture at this particular property starts with X. So they become very creative with it. So it is Xcaret. The company started as originally as a parks, but to roll that clock back just a little bit, Mr. Quintana is the owner of the property, and he's partners with some brothers, the Constanza brothers. In 1984, Mr. Quintana went to that property. He purchased land to build his residence, a family compound. And as he was starting to excavate, he realized that the entire peninsula there was a network, kind of a honeycomb of these underground caves, caverns, and rivers. Realizing that, and this just speaks to what the company is all about, he couldn't in good conscience take that property and own it for himself. So he changed his plans. The family compound is now in Merida, which is about 3 hours away. And he and these brothers got together and they developed the very first park, Xcaret. They wanted to share that history, that culture, that experience with the public and with the people to celebrate the Mexican Mayan heritage. So that's kind of how it all started. They opened the park, the first park, Xcaret, in 1990. It is now one of the largest companies in all of Mexico. It's been called the Mexican Disney, although they are not amusement parks. They are all ecological experiential parks. And the way that they run this company is absolutely incredible. We'll talk about that, but it's all with a very strong focus on sustainability and with respect to the people of the land and the plants and animals. So having said that, I'm going to figure out how I get into find my presentation so we can start that. There we go. Can you all see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet? Whitney, what am I doing that it's
Okay,
not?
share your screen and pick the item that you want to share.
Okay, let's go back. Wait a minute.
Click the green share screen button at the bottom.
Yeah, we did that. Let's escape.
Okay.
Hold on. All right. Hold on one second. Let me get back to where we are. Share screen.
Yep.
All right. And
Click
here.
on your presentation. There you go. Now we can. Thank you.
All right. Can y'all now see it?
Yes.
All right, so here we have the two properties. We started with Hotel Xcaret Mexico. It is 900 rooms. It is an all-suite property. There are 2 master suites, 12 junior suites, and the rest are a combination of river view, ocean view, oceanfront, etc. There's several swim-up suites as well. It's to say that this is an amazing property. I flew out there. My plane was delayed and I landed and I took the transportation, which is included in your rate. And I arrived at the property at 11 o'clock at night, put on my tennis shoes and kind of went on my own tour. Every turn blew my mind. I mean, at my age, and as long as I've been in this industry, and I have had the great pleasure of working for some of the most amazing resorts in the world, this place is mind-blowing. To say it's different or unique is just not an adequate descriptor. I'll use the phrase from one of my recent FAM attendees as she turned a corner and saw one of our lagoons with the waterfall. She said, "Oh my goodness, this is truly an immersion into the Mexican Mayan culture. It's an experiential resort." So having said that, let's take a look. Here's an aerial shot of the resort. As you can see, it's not your typical C-shaped resort with the 900 rooms are divided into 5 buildings we call casas. This one up front that you see has a rooftop pool. That's Fuego. Within Xcaret Mexico, that is the only adult-only building. It's 70 rooms. It's a combination of river view, ocean view, garden view. It's got the most amazing presidential suite or master suite in it. The other buildings are I'll go through them in a minute, but I love the layout. Instead of your typical high-rise glass C-shaped resort that you would see in Miami or Hawaii or any other beach destination, it's divided up for a reason. And as you come in with your groups, depending on the count, we can help assign it to certain buildings and keep that intimate feeling if that's what you want. It has 11 pools. It's truly an amazing development. As you see this river that runs through it. I don't know another resort that has a river that runs through it. It's not a man-made river. That's one of the many rivers, but what they did was they took the cap off of it, and all that rock that they exposed or took off to expose the river is used in the construction of the buildings. It's part of their whole ecological imprint. They reuse and recycle everything that they can possibly. All of that landscaping is natural to the terrain as well. So it's pretty impressive. And just beyond that river is the ocean. So yes, we do have ocean as well. Let's take a look at this. I love to highlight that fact about all fun inclusive. Our hotel, being the owner of all the parks, the 3 main parks, Xcaret, Xenses, and Xplor, are literally 2 minutes away. They're right next door. So part of your rates is round trip transfers. We provide those in state-of-the-art coaches that we run and operate. You hand us your manifest and we take care of the rest, which is a huge savings of time and energy for a planner. I had one planner say it's like an easy button. You come to the resort and you can go to any of our 9 parks as many times as you want. It's unlimited access. It covers your entrance and transfers back and forth. We have some that are 45 minutes away. So those are day excursions. But the three main parks, you can be laying by the pool and say, hey, I want to go zip line, or I want to go cave diving or cave swimming, and go take off on the shuttle that's in front of the hotel. It takes you 5 minutes to get there, and you can play for an hour or two and come back. That probably is one of my favorite features, because as many of you have been to some of these parks, and if you've stayed like in the hotel zone, some of the bigger hotels, it's a day-long excursion. You get on the bus in the morning and you go, and you can't come back until it leaves at that evening, 5, 6 o'clock at night. So you're kind of stuck there. Lots to do. It's great fun, but they are right next door. So you can take advantage of that time-saving feature. And in your budget for a true incentive, or any meeting that has an excursion, that is included in your rate. So when you're working on your budget, don't double ding yourself. That's something I have to remind people of. It's a huge savings. So here we are located. We're about 45 minutes south of the airport. You do fly into Cancun Airport. And as I said, we pick you up in our coaches and we take you straight there. The highway now, I don't know if you've been to that area lately, but it's a 4-lane road now, 2 on each side. And it's much quicker than it used to be. So it takes about 45 minutes, maybe 50 tops with some traffic. We show a video of all the restaurants and all of the parks, and plenty of descriptors on what to do. So as soon as that video is over, you look up and you're at the resort. Here's another great aerial view of the iconic, we call it the pyramid. It's actually a chapel on top. Of the view is stunning from there. Here's our lobby. Everything is very colorful at Hotel Xcaret. I love that. So many hotels in Mexico are that kind of a muted tan color, and they feel that the ocean is enough color. I can't have enough color, and I love their bright colors. They incorporate artwork and weavings and furnishings that are created by the communities that live right outside of our hotel. So they've engaged that business sense. I love that. When you arrive, be prepared to be immersed in both the ancient Mayan and the modern. If you look down here in the far right corner, you can see it's almost like a Frank Lloyd Wright type building, mixed with the natural terrain of the river and the cliffs. It's absolutely stunning. Have you seen the movie Avatar? I'm sure most of you have. And if you think of that movie, the planet Pandora is what comes to mind, especially at night, because that whole river is lit up and the cliffs are lit. At night, it becomes an incredibly different looking resort than it is in the daytime. The Mayan warriors are up at the top left. They walk around the resort. You see that you can be laying at the beach by the river, and all of a sudden you hear this doo, 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 and they come around the corner in a canoe and get out and just kind of walk around, and they're there for photo ops. You're not supposed to talk to them because they are royal Mayan. So they're just there for aesthetic purposes. You can also get them to come to one of your events. I did have an event where the CEO dressed up as that guy right in the middle. And he came in the canoe and he came out. Nobody knew it was him because he had the mask down. Then he took his mask off and welcomed his people. Thought it was fantastic. Here's a great view of that lagoon shot as well. And this is exactly what it looks like. There are hiking trails in the back. There's a obstacle course for workout. There are steps down to this river from many different points throughout the walk there, but there's also rooms that dive into that as well. This is something that I'm extremely proud about, and didn't even really realize how special it was when I first took the job. And as I've worked for them now, going on my 3rd year, I've learned just what it meant. And I learned what it meant specifically during COVID. A lot of our sisters and brothers in this industry lost their jobs. They were furloughed, or they were laid off, or ultimately fired. And it was devastating for all of us. I'm glad to see a lot of people are finding their way back. For us as a company, from the CEO down, took a 50% cut in pay. It was agreed that we would all do that so nobody would lose their job. And as soon as they could, last January, they bumped us right back to full pay. So it is something that the company, it's their culture. They take care of their people like family, and they take care of the community outside of the hotel, which are extended members of each member of the team's family. What that means to you is these people are very secure, very happy, and very proud to be a part of this team. And that delivers right back into stellar service. We were only open a year and 5 months when we received our 5 Diamond Award. I've never heard of something that quickly being given to a company. It's just unbelievable. They're very respectful of the plants and animals that are around. They have unbelievable conservation projects. They have their own water plant under. Here's our 3 pillars that we talk about: our plants and animals, our prosperity, which is our neighbors, and we do as much local business as we can with all of our purchasing, and the people, of course. We have our own water filtration plant that runs under the hotel, and we produce our own water. You will not find paper plates, paper napkins, straws, plastic at the parks and at the resorts. They filter their own bottled water. It's fresh in your little mini bar and in your room, and you can get as much of it as you like, but they don't sell any kind of plastic products. I'm pretty proud of that. We have a lot of people who are very addicted to straws. So if you really have to have a straw, they've either got bamboo straws they can give you, or they have metal straws that they can give to you as well that you can clean. I think that's impressive. As I said, we have conservation projects that we've released, rebred and released more red macaws than anybody else in the world. They were almost extinct in the area. So they actually, you see them around the resort from time to time. They take off from their habitat and they don't want to come back. They eventually come back, but they're very stubborn. They're pretty funny. But we have turtles and we have schools for it. We have projects for team building that you can participate in some of these conservation projects. It's amazing. They're very dedicated to that cause. Here's a shot of the main, when you come out of the lobby, that's just one of the buildings. As you see, it is a 6-floor building. There's the 3rd floor is the main lobby floor. There's 2 floors below that and then 3 above. So you've got 6 total floors. You can traverse around all the buildings on the 3rd floor, or up on the 5th floor. There are suspension bridges that are pretty trippy. You have to get used to those. They're kind of challenging. As I said, we have 900 rooms at this resort, and as well as Arte. Arte is really a duplicate, but we took everything we learned from this resort and made it better over there. We have 5 casas, as I mentioned. Casa Agua is our spa building. Casa Espiral is the closest view to the pyramid, the spiral we call it. Casa Viento is where it's the biggest. It's about 345 rooms with its own special pool with an octopus for children. And Casa Tierra is right next door. That's a great building. It has a great combination of ocean view, oceanfront rooms. And then lastly, our pictures are covering it up, but Fuego, which is the adult only building, it's about 70 rooms. Here's a classic view of our double room, or a king bed would be just one king size bed in the middle. Notice all of the wood. That is wood that is milled in the Yucatan Peninsula. It is made from wood there in the region. This picture doesn't show it, but there's a mural on the wall. It's hand woven. It takes a year to weave, and it's stitched from the village next door. These women do it. It's stunning. There's what they call a bird nest. I think we see it later in another shot, a bird nest lamp over the dining table that's in the room that's handmade by another village. Your turned down candies each night are put in a little basket woven by another village. I remember the story of the owners having lunch at this tiny little village and impressed by these little baskets, and asked them if they'd be willing to make them for the hotel. And they said, yes. How many do you need? 300-400? And the owner says, maybe 300,000 or 400,000. So they had to get everybody in the village really busy, really quick. All of the suites come with their own balcony. This is a picture of a garden view swim up suite. The whole length of that building will be a pool behind you that you can swim in. But every room, every suite has its own balcony with double hammocks. It's got its own chair out there and a built-in seating area on the wall. I love that. You can get out there. That's a better picture of it right there. Isn't that beautiful? Oof. This is my favorite. This is one of the many suites that would be called a swim up suite, but it's a platform. You can actually walk out on your balcony there. There's no railing, and you can dive in to the river and climb back up as that young lady is doing up to your room. I love that. I particularly love the Mayan warriors that are kind of hiding in the cliff, but if I had my way, I'd have that guy right there in the white trunks hiding in the little cliff rocks there. Here's a master suite. This is the one in Fuego. This is the largest master suite that we have. That's the outdoor patio. It's just beautiful. We have 11 swimming pools. This is a view of the glass tube that connects the rooftop pool up on top of Fuego. I sent my goddaughter there for her honeymoon, and she has a picture of both she and her husband meeting in the middle and kissing. And they took that picture of it, and she has it hanging over her bed in her room. It's beautiful. Here's a picture of the main pool. It's absolutely stunning and huge. And the building off to the left, that's one of our many restaurants. It's Trajinera, which stands for, it's a type of boat, fishing boat in the Mexican culture. You can get fresh ceviche there round the clock, about 11, 12 different kinds of ceviche every day. At the end of that pool is an infinity view. It's absolutely stunning. So every time I come to the resort, that's the first place I go. I get a mango frozen margarita and I get a big plate of ceviche. It's fabulous. I think one of the best things that describes this hotel is that this is not your grandma's all-inclusive anymore. The food at this place is over the top. It's just incredible. As it says here, we have 12 restaurants and 9 bars. That's just at Hotel Xcaret Mexico. The food is tremendous. One of our chefs is a Michelin award-winning chef at this hotel, and then over at Arte we have another Michelin award-winning chef that has just joined the team. So that's the caliber of food that you're eating and experiencing. The menus change all the time. They will do specific menus for your group. They will do specific requests within each restaurant. It's just wonderful. I mean, they have many different kinds of food and experiences. These are just some of my favorites. As I mentioned, Trajinera up there in the top left. Next is Las Playas. It's down on the beach. That's the beach of the river, and then over the next bridge that goes to the ocean. Las Cuevas is all in caves. It can seat up to 600 people, and you can do a group there. We'll take a look at that in a minute. And then Xingao is one of our Asian restaurants. We have many more, but it's too much to put on here. Here's a great shot of Las Cuevas. I have a great story about this restaurant. I had a group that wanted to book with us, and we just did not have enough space for their final night dinner to do a ballroom. We were sold out in our space. So the CEO was, very, very stuck in old ways of having the stage and the trophies laid out and the screen and having people walk up and take their awards. And I presented to him, I said, I want you to go on a journey with me and imagine in your mind something completely different. Take your winners and put them in these pods that intertwine in this Las Cuevas restaurant. Surround them with the people that are closest to them that really help them win that award, and go from section to section. Take your tie off, roll your sleeves up, maybe even grab your favorite bottle of tequila and a couple of shot glasses, and go from section to section and congratulate that person personally where it really matters. And he did that. And afterwards, he told me he would never do it differently. It was so personal and so different, and everyone really responded well to it. But he did say he would want to take a bottle of water versus a bottle of tequila, because after doing all of those shots, he was a little tipsy. This is our restaurant Ha. It is one of the only ones that is not part of the all-inclusive. It is a special 7-course tasting menu, and it is a creation of Carlos Gaitan. Carlos Gaitan was the first Mexican chef to ever win a Michelin star, and he is there sometimes. Most of the time he's in Chicago, but he is there now. So the food is just tremendous. Somebody's trying to call me. Am I not catching? Maybe I need to take this. Nope. I'll just have to wait. I've been to this restaurant about 3 times, and each time the food is completely different. He plays around with many different types of foods, and it's really an experience. It takes about 3 or 4 hours, so it's something that you really have to be patient with if that's something. I like the feature of this restaurant in the fact that it is not part of the all-inclusive. It's about $130 per person to take someone there, but what a great way to have your CEO or president meet your top tier winners, maybe fly them in a day early, celebrate them here at this restaurant, and really make them feel special, because it's such an intimate experience and very unique. This, if anybody wants a copy of this presentation, please let me know. This just outlines all the different restaurants. Again, over here on the side where our pictures are all up, that tells you the capacities, but this explains what kind of food that is. And you of course are able to buy them out for groups, and some of them are closed during the day. We can use them for meetings and breakouts. And as I said, we have 11 pools. This is an aerial view of Fuego, the rooftop pool there. It's stunning. Maluk Spa, we have an unbelievable spa. It has 21 treatment rooms that are all in caves. And of course, we have fitness there is really key. We have 3 state-of-the-art fitness centers throughout the resort. We have paddleboarding and kayaking and snorkeling, all complimentary there at the resort as well. We also have yoga classes. This is one of our yoga areas out. See the suspension bridge? That's heading over to the pyramid. Those are very challenging. They scare me, but they're fun. Here's a picture of the inside of the spa with its own private little lagoon that you're able to swim in between treatments, or just to go enjoy the spa center in the water, the aquatic therapy. You're able to do that as well. Here's a little couples massage room. We have one couples massage room that actually has its own private cenote, which is the sinkhole. And after your treatment, you can swim in it. We'll talk a little bit about all fun inclusive, unlimited access to all 9 Xcaret parks. That's so important. I put a link on here, and if you want to take a minute and copy that down, or if you want me to, you just email me afterwards and I can send you the link. If you go to this link, it outlines every single park, gives you an overview of what that park is all about, the activities and what's included. As far as your all fun inclusive, when you check in, you're given a wristband that looks like kind of like a little bit of an Apple Watch. That's your key. It gets you in your room. It gets you into the park in a completely different line than anybody else. So if it's a very busy day, you go to the head of the line. And many times some of the key activities like zip lining can be very challenging. It can be very busy. They'll bump you to a separate line for that as well. It's about 12 towers. They also have zip lining at night, which is called Xplor Fuego. I actually did it. I don't think I'll ever do it again. Kind of proud that I did it though. It's zip lining to torchlight, and it's in pitch dark other than those torches. It's pretty incredible. I encourage you to take advantage of these parks when you're there. It's kind of hard to find time because there's so much to do at the resort as well, but they're so close, and it is part of your rate, so it's a lot of fun. Here are some of those. Like I said, the Xcaret Mexico, Xel-Ha, which is a water park, Xplor Fuego at night, Xenses, great water park resort right next door. Xoximilco, which is the in the picture in the middle, it's all those little boats, the trajineras, and they serve you dinner on this boat and a lot of tequila. They have spots they stop where you dance. They have musicians that come on board. It's just really a lot of fun. Cenotes I have not gone to. That's my next trip. It's a bucket list for me. It's 4 different sinkholes that are interconnected by zip line. It's supposed to be an incredible experience. And of course, the Chichen Itza, you can go to Chichen to see the pyramids. And our latest park we just opened, Xavage, which is an extreme park with extreme jeeps and rope climbing courses, and it's in river rafting. So it's a lot of fun as well. Here's Xel-Ha, cenotes. Doesn't that look amazing? Sign me up. We have space at our hotel, of course. We have 3 ballrooms actually 1 ballroom, but it's divided into 3 sections. And then we have some breakouts. The main ballroom at Xcaret Mexico is just under 13,000 square feet. So you can imagine our challenge with 900 rooms and just having that much space. It is a little hard for us when some of the groups get a little bit bigger. So that's one of the things we took advantage of when we built Arte, and there's much more space over there, and we'll go through that. Here's a picture of the ballroom. I love it. They incorporated wood, and see all the rock on the walls? That's from the uncapping of that river. They reused and repurposed all of that rock. It's a muted wood tone, so you can do as much color or as little as you like. One of the advantages of working with us is because we are connected to Xcaret next door, the park and the show. The show has 400 performers and a production crew like you've never met. I was there December of 19, and in this ballroom, they had set up a wedding. Speaking of the planet Pandora, the bride wanted the tree of life constructed in the middle of that ballroom, and they did it. They made this incredible tree. And when you turned up the lights, all those little white things that floated around in that movie, they had those on little tea lights. It was incredible. It looked just like the movie. And that's what she had. The crew built that for her. You can only imagine what it cost, but they did it. Here's a typical setup of the food is just very healthy. They're very health conscious here, very creative, and always plenty of food. You will never go hungry there. Here's a unique, I wanted to show you a picture. This is a place called Cuevita. It's outside of the Las Cuevas restaurant. It is set up here for 30 people. You can do a breakfast, a lunch, or a small reception. We have all kinds of nooks and crannies outside where we do anywhere from 800 people. We can do up to 3,000 all around the perimeter of that pyramid. It's a progressive sort of reception, totally merged. It's like a festival. Really a lot of fun. We hosted the Mexican Academy Awards, and we did that party there. It was a huge hit. Here's a view of Playa Viento, which is outside of the Viento building. As you can see, it's 2 terraces. The top terrace has a little pool, then it drops down about 12 steps, and below is a cement patio as well as beach, and then the river. It's a great venue for this one. Will seat up to 800. These are the warriors that come in at night. You can hire those to come in and perform and stand there and take pictures. It's really very stunning. Look at that headdress, incredible. This is the backside of the pyramid. I love this, the artwork, just the railings make it so artistic. And what a great group shot. Get everybody crammed up on those stairs, take a picture, and that's your pillow gift, your last night, a farewell gift framed of all of the people that came to your event. I just love that. Now we're going to talk about Hotel Xcaret Arte. It's just stunning. I was just there a couple weeks ago and saw it, and we are opening July 1st. So it's fast and furious and fiendishly getting finished, but it is a true work of art. The concept at this resort was to take everything that we learned from Hotel Xcaret Mexico, improve on it, and make it a little bit different. And how we improved on it is that we made this all adult. It's 16 years and older. The only exception to that is if you buy it out. And of course, then you can kind of pretty much do what you want. And we do have several buyouts now already. It has much more meeting space, much more capabilities handle that size for us. The outdoor space is bigger. It is the same footprint, 900 rooms. It has more suites, many more suites, five masters, 3 presidentials, and about 20 junior suites. So we really added suites. We knew we needed that. It has more of those platform suites that you can jump in and swim into the river, which I love. Just a lot of different things. But the main feature here is they really did a deep dive into art, the Mexican culture, art, and food. They hired, like, remember when Win and Encore opened up so many of the restaurants with famous chefs manning each one of them? It's a similar concept. They went out into the Latin community and they did a partnership with these famous chefs from that region and brought them in, and they developed their own concept at these restaurants. They're beautiful. I can't wait to try the food. So let's take a look at this.
We've been made to believe that art is born to be appreciated from a distance, that it should be kept in museums or on stages, and that an unbreakable barrier separates spectators from the work of art. We don't agree. We believe in the power of a Mexican art that invites you to discover, create, smile, learn, explore, and enjoy. We're not going to rest until guests, artists, and work of art become one. We've adopted Mexican art so you can experience it in every way. A unique place in the Riviera Maya awaits you. Hotel Xcaret Arte. Mexican art stays in you.
I love that piece. It's fabulous. I can't wait for it to open. Here's an aerial view of Hotel Xcaret Mexico. I get asked all the time, how close is Arte? It's literally right next door. And as you can see from this aerial view, it's pretty much a duplicate. It's a mirror image of Xcaret Mexico, with the exception in the back. If you see on this right side, there's much more convention space over there. Directly behind that will be the next 2 projects. They are going to, in the next 5 years, they have 2 more resorts of the same size. It's going to be Xcaretville. And it will have a 250,000 square foot convention center and a 30,000 seater arena for sports and concerts. These guys are just on fire right now. They've incorporated, as I said, so much of the Mexican art. It's very colorful and just so tastefully done. It's really fun to just grab a cocktail and walk through the place. It's stunning at every turn. There is a main lobby, but people will not be checking in at that main lobby. Now, if you have a meeting and you want to check them in, we have a huge foyer at the ballroom. But regular guests will be brought to whatever building they're in. Each building has its own lobby that is experiential in itself. Here's your Frida Kahlo person up here. just some more pictures of the different art and materials that are around the resort. It's just, they really indulge you in this environment of art and food. It's just incredible. Here are the 5 casas. Casa del Diseño, it have a knitting or weaving workshop in the lobby that you can participate in and sign up for. Casa de los Artistas is a painting workshop. My dear friend Kathy Kelly, that's where you'll have to stay. Casa de la Paz is a vegan cuisine workshop. You're going to ask, the Casa de la Música is dancing. So each night in the main club, nightclub, or restaurant that is a nightclub at night, will have a different type of music, and whatever that type of music is, that day you will take classes in Casa de la Música to learn to dance to that music. I think it's pretty cool. And Casa de la Paz is a pottery workshop, so you can channel your inner Demi Moore and take pottery. It'll have a spinning wheel and pottery classes in that particular. So those are all, and you can intertwine. Doesn't mean that just because you're staying in one of those casas, you cannot go and take classes to any one of the others. You just need to sign up. Here's the weaving one. Here's a musica for dancing. Carol has that, and no, Carol has the artistas in her background. This is the La Paz for cooking. And here's the painting. I love the colors, they're so beautiful. I think this is, I can't see. This is Casa de Pyramid. This is the pottery one. Here's what, this is a standard room, 575 square feet. This is a standard room. As you can see that purple off to the left, that's one of the weavings, or not weavings, excuse me, stitcheries that it takes forever to do. You can't see that bird's nest lamp that's over that dining table there. Each room has a couch in it. It's not a pull-out couch, it's a fold-out couch. So those are memory foam that fold out flat. They're very comfortable, so you can utilize that as well. Here's a rooftop pool and deck for the oceanfront at the adult. It's got a building that has its own butlers. That's the pool upside. It's so beautiful. There's 5 buildings. 4 of them have rooftop pools, and all of them have rooftop bars. The food is, as I said, is just tremendous. I didn't think they could get any better than they're having over at Xcaret Mexico, but I did some tastings when I was there last, and it's just so creative and colorful and just so fun and interactive. They've done everything to, you're not going to ever want to leave this place, I'm telling you. Look at the creation of this particular restaurant here. It is so stunning. It's partially under the river. Up to the left there, see it's glass. You'll be able to see the fish. There are fish in our river because it's a natural river, and you will see them. So that's one of our concepts here. Here's another one of our concepts. Our other Michelin award-winning chef is here running this one. This will have an Asian, little bit of an Asian flair, but it's more seafood, Mediterranean seafood. Here's one, it's Chino Poblano, which is like a kind of a Cuban Mexican flavor to it, so very different. This is the nightclub I was talking to you about, the VIP nightclub. They call it VIP Cantina. This will have music and different kinds of entertainment each night, and you'll learn about it at, you can go take dance lessons, as I said, at Casa La Musica. So that's just a few. I love this one. This is a combination of Italian Mexican. What a concept. So I have not tasted the food here yet, but I love the design. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. We also have a chef that's been hired particularly to develop vegan and gluten-free choices at every restaurant. So you won't feel like you have to, and by the way, every time you sit down to eat anywhere at both resorts, they ask you if you have food allergies or any kind of restrictions. They're very mindful of that. I kind of find that it's an extra special touch because they don't take that for granted at all. There'll be many choices at this resort for those kinds of diets. Drinks are important when we're on vacation, especially at an all-inclusive. And as I said, they all premium brands. We have 10 bars. We have 9 restaurants and 10 bars. As I said, we have in Casa Musica, we have a place that is like a speakeasy. It's going to feature jazz music. And as I said, there's all these rooftop bars. So the views are just tremendous. At Spa Malouk, it's kind of a different experience at this particular resort. You first meet with your masseuse, and they do a consultation with you about what you want to smell, how you want it to feel, what lotions do you want, what oils do you want. So you sit in these little pods and you develop your experience together. I love that. There's 24 treatment rooms here at Spa Maluk at Arte. It's a little bit more, and there's more couples massage because we just ran out of that. They're requested constantly. This is just a taste of what it's like. The room is big enough to hold an event there. So if you want to do like a brunch and have couples, or you want to do a brunch for like the wives, it's a great location to do that as well. Very healthy food there as well. They even went as far as to incorporate an artistic twist to the meeting space. This is our main ballroom, which is 27,000 square feet. It's divisible into 5 different sections. Look at those lamps. Those are all hand woven lamps up at the ceiling. It's 26-foot ceiling, and it does have rigging up there for all of your AV needs that you need, but it's so beautiful. It's breathtaking. I don't know any other ballroom that is as pretty as Diego's ballroom. And here are all the specs. If you guys want me to send you that, as you can see, it's Diego is the main ballroom, but it's divisible in all these different configurations. And totally, it's a little over 27,000 square feet. We can feed about 2,500, and we can fit theater style about, I think they said about 3,300 people. So it's indoor space. We have it covered. It's outdoor. That's still a challenge. Here's, of course, our specs. And Frida is our second ballroom. It's just under 12,000 square feet. And it is also as creative, a little bit different. The whole top of the roof is covered with bamboo shoots. So it's very unique. And then we have a set of smaller breakouts that are perfect for offices or smaller groups as well. We have a chapel here. The chapel at Hotel Xcaret Mexico is Catholic. The owners of the hotel resort are very Catholic. And so that particular chapel, you must be Catholic, or you must have a full Catholic mass if you're going to get married there or have a service up there. We'll certainly accommodate religious, any kind of gatherings anywhere else in the resort that aren't Catholic. At this resort, they have created this beautiful chapel here that is non-denominational. The view at that far end overlooking the ocean is so stunning. So this is a nice place to have services. And we do have a lot of groups if they're traveling on a Sunday that want to do that. Or of course, if you want to have a wedding or renew your vows, you can do it here as well. Arte, they built an outdoor theater that is fantastic. The space in front of it, which you don't see, it can seat about 1,000 cocktail size. It's great for performances, awards, whatever. They will be doing a nightly show. So if it's something that you want to buy out, then that's something we have to talk about. There are terms and rental involved with that. And here we go with the experience. As you notice, Arte is lavender and purples, and Xcaret Mexico is hot pink. So we're not quite finished. If you haven't had enough of the space, or you need to branch out, or you want to do an off-site event, we have space next door at Xcaret Park. It is a convention center that's just under 10,000 square feet. It's divisible into 4. That's inside. It also has an outdoor patio called the Hacienda. It has a retractable, say that fast 5 times, roof, and you can seat 500 out here. It's really a lovely location to do something and to get that feel of doing something a little bit different. You can do events inside Xplor or Xcaret where the caves are, and that is the color it is. They light it up with that turquoise blue. It looks just like that. It's stunning. It's really a cool idea to do a little reception in one of these caves. They have a private wine cellar here as well. Seats 24. It's kind of a cool place to do an executive dinner. My favorite venue over at Xcaret Park is, it's also underground and the river runs through it. It's called La Isla. It seats 500, has a huge built-in stage. It is absolutely beautiful, and it's so cool without, temperature cool without being air conditioned because it's underground. It's really beautiful. Xoximilco is one of the parks that you can go to at night as a small group, or you can do a large group. Right now, they're accepting groups as large as 250. I believe it can go up to 500, but they're limiting that right now because of just coming out of COVID. So we have to talk about that because the rules change all the time. But it's really fun to bus them out there. And of course, it's covered with our with your all inclusive, all fun inclusive. Bring a group out there and divide them up into each boat, and you take off, and you can change boats at each time they dock to do something. You can start switching around. It's really a lot of fun. Some of my friends that are on this call have done this in the past. Here it is right here. It's just one big giant floating party. It's kind of crazy, but it's really fun. And then here at Xenses, right next door, is this is just a little plaza out front. Up in the right corner, you can kind of see where it's kind of lit up at night. This is a great story. I did a proposal for a large restaurant group, and it was going to be a total buyout of Arte and Mexico, and it's still in proposal stage. Hopefully we will close that. They needed a venue for about 3,000 people to have outdoor dinner, and we didn't have it. And I wasn't about to go and lose that. So I got up at 7 in the morning in true Debra style, and I checked out one of our bicycles, and I went riding all around those parks. I said, there's gotta be something. And I pulled into the entrance of Xenses, and this is actually a huge bus staging area. It isn't blacktop, it's white pavers like you see in this other picture. It's beautiful. And it was like this blank canvas. I took pictures of it. I texted it to the CEO of that company who'd flown in on his private jet, and he jumped in the car, and they brought him over. He said, that'll do. So we've developed that now. It's an evening under the stars at Xenses, and you can do an outdoor uncovered, or you can cover it with a tent, and they can do a Mexican village style event, or however. It's just literally a blank canvas. You can do whatever you want there, but it's really something that the park has now developed, and we've had several hotels outside of our properties come and use this space for something large. So it's kind of cool. So here are some of the comments that people come, and you can go on Facebook of Friends of Xcaret, and you can read amazing comments, amazing comments. You can go on TripAdvisor and get amazing comments. People are really wowed and falling in love with this property. I am so proud to have this opportunity to represent them. As I said before, it's really hard to wow me. And this place just does it every single time. I encourage you, please come see it. Take advantage of a FAM. I've got 2 dates in August and 1 in December for the rest of this year. We'll be rolling out some more dates. I'd love to take you to see Arte, the new resort, and either one of them are stunning. It's just a lot of fun. It's different. It's over the top. It's like nothing you've ever experienced. So bring me your business. Let's go have some fun at Xcaret and Arte. Yay.
Fantastic. Debra, thank you so much. And as the moderator today, let me just say we do have a couple of questions in the chat box. One was, you can have events in the cenote?
You can have events. A question, can you have events in the cenotes? Cenotes are those water sinkholes. So no, you
Okay.
cannot. So I don't know where that question came from. That's a park that you can go to. Within that park, there are actually smaller venues that you could take a group out there and do a group luncheon and still go and experience the park. But as far as doing an event in a cenote, I don't think you can do that.
Is there caves that surrounds the cenotes that has sort of a shelf that you could put a musicians or a tasting station or margarita station or something?
Not at the cenotes. Now, next door at Xplor and at Xcaret, that one shot, it is sort of a series of caverns with the river that runs through it. It's not particularly what you would call a cenote. The cenote is about 30, 40 feet deep. It's a big, giant nature's swimming pool. It's clear, it's got fish in it and everything, so no.
I think it was the picture of the caves or the river that she was.
Yeah, that you can. You can,
Right.
you can definitely do events within Explorance, and you can. The water runs through it. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
The one restaurant, La Isla, has that river running through it, and it seats up to 500. So yes to that question.
Okay, good. I have a couple of questions that I just for me, what percentage of group to leisure travel do you have there? And did they set up Xcaret Arte with the more of the idea that that would be the group hotel, and Xcaret Mexico would maybe be more leisure?
Great question. You know, all the best plans with COVID hitting. Xcaret Mexico survived with leisure. They really they actually opened up to their local people who would, and they reduced their rates, of course, and they welcomed as many as they could, people that could not ever or would not ever consider going there. And now, once they experience it, they're bringing business back at the higher rates because they got to see what it was all about. The concept for Arte was, of course, to be, both can accommodate groups, definitely. And the concept is about 50-50 split for each resort to have part leisure and part group. And it all depends on the piece of business. As I said, right now, since mid-March, we've been just, the floodgates have opened with group leads. And I would say that some of them, a lot of them are 500 rooms plus peak. So we're talking about almost buyouts, and we're talking about several that are double buyouts of both resorts. So they'll come in, brand all over the place, own them. They're $5-6 million bookings. Doesn't suck to be me right now. Really, really great opportunities all over the country. Very interested in coming in. So they realize, especially because Arte was opening, so many hotels were sold out for 2022 because they had moved groups, relocated them because of COVID. We're opening a brand new resort that was open and have a lot of availability. That's quickly dwindling, but we do still have great opportunity at Arte. And remember, that is adult only.
Okay, another question. Where would you host an upscale President's Club group? Is there a casa for a buyout, 55 to 70 rooms and butler service?
Yes, that would be, if you could do Hotel Xcaret Mexico, that would be the Fuego building, which is butler service. It is 70 rooms. I have done several buyouts of that building or close to it. They have a similar situation, the same size building over at Arte, and it is butler service. However, remember, it's adult only all over Xcaret Arte. At Mexico, the feature of that rooftop pool and the master suite up there is so intriguing. You have a lot of that going on at Arte. We built that in, but at Mexico, the rates are a little bit lower than they are at about 10% higher to go to Arte. So to keep you in line with what's available at Xcaret Mexico, I would say the building Fuego would be the answer to that.
Okay, and then one more question that I had. Sorry, I'm hogging all the questions, but if you have the all-inclusive, right? Like normally you would take a group in, and in your program you would have this boat to pick them up over here and take them over here and all this. Are you telling me that everyone's rate includes all of that?
All of that, as many times as you want. So the resorts next door, Xplor Fuego at night, Xcaret, and Xenses need no reservations at all. You just grab the shuttle up front. It's a darling little pink bus with a thatched roof. You jump on that, it literally takes you 5 minutes. They goes around the driveway and boom, they start at Xenses and then they go to Xplor and then they go to Xcaret. It's a constant, so every 20 minutes it comes back to the front. You can take that. If you want to do one of the other parts, you have to go to your concierge, or of course as a group, you can reserve that through your planner and we can have an agenda. And they just need to know so they can stock the bus and how many buses, etc. But yeah, there's no extra charge for that. It's all included. It's incredible. Okay.
And is Mexico still doing the VAT tax refund?
It is, and there's some new rules with that, and we get asked this all the time. They're really cracking down. It's pretty strict. You can't just have one 1 hour meeting and call it. It can't be called an incentive. You have to call it a conference, a congress, something like that, a meeting, or a team building or whatever. But it can't be called an incentive. And every other day, you have to have a meeting at least 3 hours of the side of the say it's 400 and 200 are company employees and 200 are their guests. It has to be a meeting every other day for 200 from, like, let's say 8 to 11. So do a breakfast meeting, have a quick recap. So if you're going to be there for 4 nights, you can actually do 2 meetings and you're good. You can get your VAT. We do charge up front the regular rate. Once you come and you travel and you adhere to all of the rules, that is a rebate that we give back to you. It's something that the government is insisting on as well.
Great.
Well, that's certainly different. This is Kelly, and I'm just chiming in saying I bet there's going to be a lot fewer events named President's Club down in Mexico moving forward.
Yeah, it's just, I have loved showing it to people just for that. We get a lot of that size, like 70 to 100 or 50 to 75. That's absolutely perfect. A lot. It truly is a great incentive house. We can host meetings, and especially when we open up Arte with all that space, we'll be able to host a lot more meetings. But it's perfect for incentive travel. It really is.
Great. All right. I think, Deborah, thank you so much. These properties were so much fun to learn about and promote. And I just couldn't wait to see what you said about them, because if you just had the visuals, you might think that this was too good to be true. You know, I mean, the photos are just astounding, but then to learn all the ecological things and the beauty and the food and the crafts and it's just, I think you probably just have to experience it to really believe that it's like this.
Well, it's sweet of you to say that. It is pretty mind-blowing when you get there, and it's been really a lot of fun for me to have some almost naysayers who have in their mind, and it's the elephant in the room, Mexico, it's not fancy enough, it's not glamorous enough for my incentive. We usually go to Spain or we go to China, or we get that a lot. And then when they come to a fam, I make them come, they're like, oh my God, this is different. The destination has really grown, and the experience of this particular resort is so mind-blowing and over the top that it quickly satisfies that, and we're seeing a lot of success with that.
It was a great presentation, Deborah. You can hold a back seat to nobody. Let me
you're so sweet. I just I look forward to going. At this point in time in my life, traveling is a chore, and I'm just like, oh really? But I mean, I have hopped on a plane with 1 day's notice to go to this property to show it to somebody. And each time it's just a real joy to see their reaction and share it. I'm like a little kid on fire. I've had so many people say, I've never seen you be so passionate about a property. And it's the truth. I really am in love with this place. It's stunning.
I would agree with all of that. All of that. All right, so you're gonna put your head together with Kelly Mack and determine who's gonna take your package and come down and see this glorious place for yourself.
Okay. Yes.
While we talk about next week, so you and Kelly chat about that. Wanted to let all of you know that next week, actually, we're going to take another week off. We had a presenter had to cancel because of a very tragic loss, actually, and she has rescheduled for July. So next week we'll be gone, but the 30th of June, which is 2 Wednesdays from now, we're going to be focused on the destination of Baja Mar, which is a pretty brand new destination in the Bahamas. We're going to talk with the 2 luxury properties down there, both the SLS Baja Mar and the Rosewood Baja Mar. Twin properties, very different experiences. And so we're calling this one Birds of a Feather. So you can take that idea, Birds of a Feather, come up with whatever you want in terms of pairing and stories about birds of a feather. You can become a bird if you want, but you can obviously go on an entirely different direction. So Birds of a Feather on June 30th, we're going to focus on Baja Mar, but the SLS and the Rosewood. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. And now, did I see that Kelly is going to go first?
Yeah.
Kelly's going to go first.
I heard that little rumor.
Yeah, I heard it too. Must be true.
Well, I think that in keeping with the craftiness of our theme, I would like to award somebody who is new to us this week, but I really thought did a terrific job, and I just really appreciated all of the craftiness she brought to the table. So Annette, you are my winner for a free pair of Maui Jim sunglasses or even Zeal Optics, and I will get your email from Whitney and Carol and send you all the details for that.
Thank you. I so love Maui Jim. Oh my God, thank you.
All right.
Learned it, Annette. We hope you'll come back and visit us again.
Please.
Okay, Deborah, no pressure.
I know. The winner of our package, somebody I think who is new to your group and who is very excited about our property, I would like to award to Jill Cohen.
Jill, we didn't see Jill. Where did she go?
No, she was one of the first ones.
She is. Hey, Jill.
Excited to have her.
Thank you. My dogs say thank you as well. See, they're sleeping back. Oh, there she is.
There she is. Is that a golden?
Bringing your dog with you?
She is a Vizsla.
Avisla, okay.
Yeah. And I actually can showcase the art behind me. This is actually my kids' elementary school art that we framed and put up, and that's there's my crafting.
There's your superpower. You have a kid that can make art. Yeah.
Exactly.
I love that you framed it and put it up on your wall. I think that's very creative. I love the cat.
Cheapest art possible.
That's fantastic. Well, good. We look forward to hosting you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Whitney, do you have anything else to say?
Do not. I want everyone to have a great
evening.
Rest of the week. And the first 5 winners, remember to please email me your mailing address if you have not done so already, and I'll get these lovely notebooks and pens in the mail to you.
Thank you. And I just want to personally thank particularly Michelle and Dan. Oh my gosh. Nobody's ever written a song before. And that was fantastic as well.
I'd like to invite them to come to my FAM that's in, I think, October 5th through the 8th. I want you to come and I want you to perform that at the FAM. I want you to come with your costumes and I want you to sing that song. And I bet you we can add some days to your stay just because of that creativity.
What do you guys think of that? Are you willing to bring the guitar, the song?
Oh yeah, it can fit. It can fit in the suitcase. That little ukulele is coming.
It sounds like you want me to be one of the Mayan warriors that are like just sticking on the cliff.
I think you should do that. Yeah, I think that would be fantastic. My director of sales would absolutely lose it to see. Love it. I just love it.
Thank you.
That's really generous of you, Deborah. Thank you so much. And we'll have a list for you tomorrow in case you want to make that available to anybody else.
Okay, perfect.
And Sam, but there's Sam too. She also did a fantastic job with her Frida.
She did.
Frida Kahlo.
I'm regretting that I didn't come dressed as Frida Kahlo.
I know. You have going on.
Next presentation, you can do that.
You bet. Next time I present, I'm going to give you a run for your money, Sam. But I'm going to have thicker eyebrows.
Yeah,
I decided it would have been too much to make my eyebrows thick. It would have been a lot of drawing it in. So
they have to meet in the middle, Sam.
That's right.
Yeah.
The unibrow, the original unibrow.
And that's a whole thing about her. She left it there because she didn't want to fall into the confines of beauty.
That's great.
Yeah. It would have been too much for me to draw in something that looked like that.
I want to see you with a unibrow, Sam.
Yeah. I never got to see that.
All right, I want pictures for the Facebook feed, Dave.